Voltou o prazo.
Pá, como é aquela pequena lá?
Com o gaga e tal,
Estás a ver? Como é aquela pequena lá?
e no preto.
Cá pequena.
Não há pequena nenhuma.
Já está em vantagem.
Não há pequena nenhuma.
Depois ainda faz rir isso. Ali. Não sou eu.
Esta senhora que está aqui não é Fernanda Lobo.
Estás cansada. Estás cansada, já fiz. Podemos gravar aí no lado do lado.
Não há problema, esta
É,
ideia.
o voo, afinal, quantas contas é
a bandeja
Duas.
That he claims all the time. Never. This is the one.
Donna told me last night. I called her.
I don't know where, I can't remember where this one is.
We're down the road.
I don't know what your plan was.
Teresa, call, take the caller.
Ah, eu queria legendar o filme. Já estou a ver inglês e eu... É só som, é? Só não é tridimensional.
Olha, mas ele tem que aprender a filmar, que é bom que o Vidigal vai ficar sempre fora. Tem aqui, tem das pessoas. Olha para nós também. É um fã. É um fã. Giro isso.
passar por ele agora.
Vamos passar por ele agora, exato.
O homem vai achar que a gente está achando que está-se mangando.
Agora encolhe para trás.
Olha aquelas pontes além, estranho.
Exato, o vidro filma, que eu penso que será melhor. Será a qualidade, sabe?
O vidro.
Agora já faz ali bicha para entrar, hein?
Olha só.
E olha naquele prédio com os vidros aí assim.
Isto aqui é o Business District. Agora temos aqui a Loyal Avenue.
Loyola.
Vai ser a seguir.
Nada disso. Ah, pois não é
Isto é
Loyola,
tudo
nem
parque de
pensar.
estacionamento, já
É
viram?
sempre...
É vários New Orleans Center.
Mas ali de atravessamos o rio.
Bem, Loyola também vai dar, sabes? Loyola também é uma
Se
hipótese,
continuarmos em
mas vamos
frente,
entrar na...
ou se quiserem atravessamos o rio só para ver a ponte e voltamos.
Vidigal, aquilo vai até uma cadeia de hotéis.
Não, olha que giro isto.
É o Holiday Inn igual ao nosso. Ai, o Marriott! Olha o Marriott aqui.
E está lá está o Wilton.
Pô, já repararam que é sobre...
E lá está o
não,
Wilton sobre o rio, está claro.
Temos
Deve
aí
ser
o carro
esta,
da
deve ser
polícia.
esta.
Aí o bruto carro da polícia filmou aí,
Eu gostei que
e desta estrutura, tão bonita esta estrutura.
Isto é o
Já viram?
Mississippi.
É,
É sim.
isto é o Mississippi. Isto deve ser um dos N braços do Mississippi. E ele aqui...
Grande. Ah, o Delta, isto aqui apanha o Delta.
Pois, e ele aqui o Mississippi e aqui vai...
Nossa, que esta ponte é incrível, espanto.
E olha que depois se a gente passar a onda do outro lado para cá, vai dar uma imagem muito gira.
Depois nós podemos ir aqui.
Olha um café que está super lotado.
Olha aqui o French Market Inn Hotel.
Então isso é começar agora a ver.
É isso. Não, mas tem que
Isto é
chegar a
central.
Se calhar não.
Sim, sim, para ver
Tu
isso.
achas? Porque senão vai... Como é que
Os
vai
carros estão aqui
estacionar?
estacionados, nós também
Acho que tu
temos.
podes... Ah, não, mas pagas aqui a moeda. E isto aqui deve ser
Ao
controlado.
domingo? Ao domingo?
Porquê? No domingo não costuma ser...
Não, é na Europa não.
Está engraçado isto aqui.
Olha, este tem um ar engraçado, este hotel. Este aqui.
Olha que giro.
Olha que giro este ano. Mas uma coisa, quer dizer, é giro, mas tem tudo muito velho.
Cai de sanduíche.
Olha que coisa tão gira. Ai, que coisa que eu vou tão bem. Olha que coisa tão gira esta.
Este tem um aspecto.
Não está.
Está aqui que a gente devia vir a pé.
Já temos aqui um parque.
Temos aqui
Pronto, mas vamos
Tem
dar...
outro.
Olha aqui outro.
Tem outro.
exato.
Olha outro aqui ao ar livre que é capaz de ser mais barato.
Muito engraçado.
Ai, que maravilha isto. Ui, isto é um espanto.
Silva Smith.
São uns homões gordos.
Isto deve ter muita vida. Temos que ir
Olha,
até ao
esta.
hotel.
Vidigal, tu filmas ali a máscara, que é assim uma coisa do outro mundo.
Olha aquela casa.
Aquele ar de espanto.
Eu propunha que a gente escolhesse um hotel aí na rua.
That's really, I guess it's the all.
Eu tenho uma de 50.
Is that a rudder or is that a submarine? Really submarine. Probably a rudder.
It looks like a submarine.
Vai ficar no meu slide. Mané, fiquem ali para filmar. Vou ficar no meu slide. Não.
Então, a gente vem andar.
Não, mas costas não.
E costas não para andar.
Assim, agora foi pena, foi de costas já não deu para fazer.
Mom wouldn't let us go there because
Busy guy, yeah.
the wall. Here is a marvelous exhibit. Art character, he'll tell you in the back, art character is in the back. The large tree, plum tree, the other tree is a sycamore tree. On my left, art character, look to the right.
Neste gelado vim trazer a minha fome.
Isto aqui é o número para ligar para o quarto deles.
Quer dizer, onde é que depois perguntar o carro onde é que se põe, pá?
Vamos lá para aquela zona que eu quero.
Aí embaixo aí entra.
Fica lá
Ele está o carro.
Vamos por ali, essa boca aí que eu já vi.
Pronto, fala.
Vai tirar o carro lá.
Bourbon Street, isso. Este deve estar. Este foi o IBRG. Olha, tem aqui este foi o IBRG.
Cabaré. Can, cabaré.
É aqui que a gente vai passar a noite. Esta é a mesma a Biguana.
A da pesada.
É.
Olha o outro hot dog de Bibi. Ai que giro, aqueles hot dogs de tem uma arte de esquisa muito, olha ali, aquela t-shirt.
Olha aqui topless. Exotic girls dancers and male dancers. O que é que vocês viram?
Eram umas salsichas penduradas.
Pareciam assim outra coisa.
E se calhar eram.
Não, a ideia
Oh,
era. Não, eu logo mostro.
Oh,
Não, a
sim.
gente disse que eram umas salsichas, mas não eram umas salsichas. Na realidade era outra coisa.
Olha, temos ali o teu
Bem,
Pepe's,
coisas,
Mexican
Agora
Food and
fazem tudo atrás dele
Spirits.
come iogurte. É uma coisa que eu não gosto.
Olha, orgias, entertainment,
Olha
orgy.
aqui é que tem
Olha,
Isso é
elas têm
porra.
orgias. Eu dei tanta mal.
Orgias, olha, tem ali como é que é.
Mas que grande confusão
Poxa.
ali.
E são brancas. French style. Eu gosto é do French.
Orgias French style.
Aqui o top class, tabletop dancing. Minha mãe, isto aqui é mesmo...
É zona.
Castelo.
É a zona, não me admiro que não se fossem salsichas ali.
Pois. Aqui é que a gente leva uma presa daquelas.
Vou passar junto a ela.
Eita, Luís.
Olha, bugir lá para trás.
Não é barato, 9,95. Barões a 9,95.
Mas isso é o grama ou é o que? O barato depende do que é que se representa, ou se calhar é cada um.
É uma casa de
É aqui.
Ai, que
Pois
levar
esta
assim uma
zona.
música daquelas, meu, da sorte.
pé de cabra.
Penso para mim.
Gente, que carro era aquele? Era a polícia aqui.
Não.
Olha essa, mas trazem umas coisas normais também assim um bocado sugestivas.
É. Especialmente da outra, a cor-de-rosa. É esse. A gente também podia ter alugado assim.
Sim, bem privada, não? Quer dizer,
Like we said earlier, we don't have a problem with you taking.
On the left, we pass Jackson Square, one of the finest architectural studies in the world. Laid out in 1740, response to the art of the place of God. 1837, brilliant day. Square, 12 points of
Maybe get back in the other side, please. No, but you get one. Okay. Let's go, everybody. I get on us.
Ó João, já viste? Já viste o Chevrolet do tempo dos anos 50 ou 60? É um Bel Air.
do James Dean. fácil para tirar ela.
Yeah, I need a shake.
Give me a real friend.
Five for $1.09. Next. Mom, what you got? Yeah. I don't know which one on there. This cheese is fine. I was down with it. Hold it up. $1.09. 9 cents.
Something like that.
It's very constant on the trumpet.
Eu não tô vendo nada. Ah. Quando é ré que tá filmando ou não? Então tá filmando já.
Right here, let's see. This waterway that we in right here is the Intracoastal Waterway, and the Intracoastal runs from New Jersey to Mexico. It's an inland waterway that we can travel without having to go into the Atlantic or the Gulf of Mexico. It runs anywhere from 10 to 60 miles from the coastline at an average depth of 8 to 18 feet. It's a lot of natural tributaries. Hank Williams Sr. wrote 2 songs sitting on that mound. He wrote Jambalaya and I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry. We had 2 segmented movies filmed in the cemetery, Hard Times with Charles Bronson and James Coburn, and River Rat with Tommy Lee Jones. 7 weeks ago, Kevin Costner just finished filming a segment of his new movie, which is called JFK. It's about John F. Kennedy. There's going to be a segment in that movie about training some soldiers for the Bay of Pigs, and that was a mile away from here on the left. And in this cemetery, you can bury people in the ground or above ground because the shell acts as a buffer zone, and the water table will not force the coffins out of the ground. It's like 9 feet of solid cement. See the stick sticking out of the water up here on the left of it. See where the green jug is there? These are called bush lines.
Oh yeah, it's nothing on the hide. You know what I mean? Main hide today is worth like 5, 6 bucks. What do they track? Yeah. You veins, raccoon, rusty stuff, beef, all that. 75% of all the wild hides that are sold in the United States come out of the South. A lot of people don't realize it.
Moss gets from tree to tree by the wind, the birds, and the animals. Moss is always a grayish color, summer or winter. The only time moss is green is when it's damp. After a rain, after a fog, it'll turn green when the humidifier absorbs the water. And moss makes a little flower, just like any other plant. That's how it grows, by a flower. And moss only grows on certain trees. All the sticks sticking out of the water there are bush lines for catching a soft shell, which is a year-round business for us here. The crabs here don't hibernate in the winter. They don't bury themselves in the wintertime. We get soft shell crabs year-round. We don't have a soft shell season, let's say Maryland. We don't have that many hares in the summer. They start coming in the winter.
Yeah,
They migrate.
Oh, okay.
The light green colored trees up here on the right are swamp willow. Now, we don't have a weeping willow here, we have a swamp willow. The weeping willow will not grow in brackish water. The swamp willow does. This is brackish water, fresh and salt water. You'll see little berries in the trees right here. These are elderberry. We make elderberry wine, preserved, jam with the elderberry. And you see the vine that's up in the tree right here on the right, that's up in this tree. The large leaf vine there, that is kudzu. Now kudzu was brought to Tennessee, Arkansas, Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, the Carolinas, and was brought in for stopping erosion. The only thing is it's working in the reverse. It's killing all plant life. You kill that tree there, that kudzu. It smothered this tree down. And the only country's coordinates on the map. All of the pirates were sailors. One pirate didn't want the other pirate to know where he buried his treasure, so he went and put coordinates on the map, so when he died, the sinker died with him. A lot of maps were found, but no treasure discovered. There's no way you can pinpoint an island in 100 square miles without the coordinates. The swamp is like sand dunes in a desert. It constantly changes. And the main pirate that operated Treasure Isle was Jean Lafitte. Jean Lafitte controlled everything from Mobile, Alabama to Galveston, Texas. He controlled the whole Gulf Coast. Having the brackish water here, the fresh and salt water, we have fresh and saltwater fish. In the freshwater variety, we have largemouth bass, brim, perch, crappie, catfish, garfish, cypress bass, green trout, sturgeon, mullet. In the saltwater variety, we have speckled trout, redfish, flounder, sheephead, drum, croaker, and mullet. The lure that we use to fish with dictates what fish we catch. Our catfish get found. This is not state property. This is all individually owned or leased property, but the waterways are public.
Anybody can fish and travel the waterway. Our commercial fishermen mark their lines with ribbons, tin cans, bottles. And that's just to show the other fishermen where they're fishing. That means don't come steal a fish off the line. You any good this morning? Son fished in the state tournament yesterday for bassman state tournament. They placed 13th. Want to fish because 80 miles away, they get. That was the state tournament. They had 3 qualified tournaments. That was the final tournament for the state. The people that qualified in that tournament get to fish in a pro-am. Top 20 fishermen pro-am. Which we don't even know where the pro-am tournament is going to be held yet. See, this tournament here, we thought it was going to be held in Toledo Bend, which is where it's usually held up in North Louisiana. But they held it down here this year. It surprised everybody. I thought he was going to win first place in his backyard, but everybody in his bass club is the ones that placed at the tournament.
Y'all know where to go.
Then you're ready to go. The other guy didn't know. You can't scout for the tournament. They won't let you scout, but I mean, they fish in their backyard. They go to the fish yard and fish here all the time.
These trees right here on the right, these are cypress trees. See up here, that's a cypress. Back up in here is a cypress. And see what's sticking out of the water right here? Those are cypress knees. And the function of the cypress knees is to breathe for the cypress tree. There's 3 trees that utilize their root system to breathe. That's the mangrove, the cypress, and the euchre, the yucca. And what it does, it jets its root system out above the water line because there is no carbon dioxide in water. And that's the only function of the cypress knee, is to breathe for the tree. The cypress have cypress nuts that reproduce the cypress tree, and that's little balls on the cypress like walnuts, and that's what makes the tree. But the knees never make a tree, they only breathe for the tree. And only the red-tipped knees breathe. If there is bark on the tip, it's not being utilized to breathe. The California redwood is a land hybrid tree of the cypress family. That's where the redwood comes from, is the cypress. Cypress and redwood are from the evergreen family. They're conifers. But the cypress loses leaves in the winter where the redwood does, and the cypress is a hardwood where the redwood is a softwood. Our virgin cypress that we had in when they were in hibernation. We noticed where the gator would go under at night. We had a general idea where the entrance of the den was. We'd walk on land. We'd take a steel rod. We'd stick it in the ground. When it gave, we're over their cave. Then we took a shovel. We dug a big hole with a long pole with a hook on the end. We stuck it in there, woke the gator out of hibernation. He'd bite on the hook. We'd pull him out of the dens. Then we'd take a hatchet. We'd hit him between the eyes, the brain between the eyes. We'd smash the brain. That's how we kill the gator. Which you can't do anymore. It's illegal because gator season is not open during hibernation period. If you did that today, we'd be considered poaching. The penalty for poaching alligator in the state of Louisiana is 10 years in prison, and they do enforce it.
Yeah, I do now. I live uptown in New Orleans.
Now, what determines the hibernation in an alligator?
It's what's called a third eye, and all reptiles have a third eye. Now, the reptile on the alligator, the third eye is located right behind the eyes. Right here where this flat spot is, it's the third eye. There's two sensors, two membranes, right, that's connected directly to the brain. The brain of the gator's right here, right between the eyes, and the brain of an alligator is the size of a pea, very small brain. Well, this third eye tells them temperature of the water, temperature of the atmosphere, tells them when to hibernate, when to come out of hibernation. It also tells them barometric pressure. They know when a front's coming before the weathermen do, because during the wintertime, reptiles do not eat. They don't feed during hibernation. If they eat something during hibernation, then they should shut down for 4 or 5 days. They'll choke themselves to death, so they don't feed during hibernation. What happens on an alligator?
Here they can't leave it 3.5 to 4 feet high because their tail is body. They leave it only 4 feet as well. Did I feed the gators in July?
Oh, yeah. Oh, they volunteer.
Now, the way you tell a crocodile from an alligator, we don't have crocs here because crocodiles are not located on or go into inlays in the top skull, and he does not have the overbite. But the way you tell a male from a female gator, and this was a male gator, the male is the theme plants. So once it gets into an area, it can cover an area very quickly. And hyacinth is not native to America. Hyacinth was brought here in 1884. It was brought in from South America by the Japanese for the World's Fair. And that was the cotton expedition that was held in New Orleans in 1884. And they gave it out to people because it makes a beautiful... There'll be about a 9-foot female that lays right up here. I don't want that long. Yeah, metabolism is slowing down real. We're slowing down a lot. That gator's just barely swimming.
Ah, yes, yes, yes.
That's one. Yeah, that's one.
Another gator laying up in here. Right, back up in here. There's a gator laying. You see where the cypress is? And there's that golden rod. There's a gator right under the golden rod. Laying up on a log.
You seen it? In the water?
I can see him, but looking for the one laying up. Ay, pequeñino.
How many inches on that snout? That's what you gotta look at. Don't ever judge this side of the water. Don't look it, but it is. About 6 foot gator. Hear that? You're gonna take a tape measure and measure that snout. If you don't have 6 inches there, you ain't got a neck. I'm telling you. That alligator, that gator right there, and this gator right here is the same size gator.
Só tem a cabeça por fora. Estás a ver? Aqui.
That one's up above
Tá
the
aqui
water.
mesmo.
So you can see more of the side.
É difícil ter uma fotografia também nessas coisas.
Yeah, it's laying right there. That's a female. About a 6 foot female, close to 7 foot. Yeah.
How much would you guess it weighs?
Hey girl, you wanna eat? Come here, baby. You wanna eat? Come here. Come on, girl. You wanna eat? Come here.
Maybe not.
Come on, girl. Well, you see her body there. Look, you see the back legs? That's where the tail starts. behind the back leg. You got almost 3.5 foot of gator, maybe 4 foot laying on the water right there. And then you got their tail, 60% of you got shorter, and she got a little smaller. That's water that's there. Here, girl. Here, girl. Come here, baby. Here, girl. Come here, baby. Come here. You eat some chicken? You want to try? Come here, girl. Huh? Here, girl. Come here, baby. There you are. Got this door right here. Here, girl. Come here, baby. Here. Here, girl. Come on, baby. Over here. Come here, girl. Huh? Huh? Here, girl. Here, girl. Come on. Come on, girl. Huh? Come on, girl. I ain't have to jump very much. Here. Come on. Here. No. Come on. Here. Come on. There you go, girl. Up here. Come on. Here. You want it? You don't want it? See how slow their metabolism is? I don't think she can swallow it. That's why she's not taking it. Maybe. Here. Here, girl. You won't be able to swallow it. That's why she's not taking it. It'll choke her. Yeah, she'd have grabbed it there. Want marshmallows? I'll give you some marshmallows. All right.
So sweet too. I reckon it was coming back.
Well, you can swallow marshmallows. Yeah, she had struggle with a marshmallow.
É guloso.
You have trouble with that marshmallow, you piece of chicken. You can take that chicken like this and swallow it right there. Then when I train them at first, when they come out of hibernation, that's what I train them on is marshmallow. The reason they eat a marshmallow is because they're white. They can see them, they can hear them hit the water, so they eat a marshmallow. And then I train them on a marshmallow because in the springtime, when their esophagus starts opening, when they can swallow a marshmallow real good, that's when I start them with chicken.
Lots of marshmallow.
Yeah, she heard it too. Yeah, other gator's laying right over there. Oh yeah, no way she can swallow chicken.
Don't want to do it. Good bite, I should imagine.
Oh yeah, they eat.
It's just that they're hibernating.
You know, 2 months ago I was feeding one alligator. The other gator leaped over the other gator and grabbed my hand. Did a thumb right here. He got me there, and I had 13 stitches right here. Cut me all the way around.
Mesmo embaixo.
12 o'clock school. And one of the guys, I was in a big boat, I had the big boat full of people. And the guy came up there and he says, man, the gator bite your finger off? And I didn't even know it yet because I couldn't even see with the blood. Yeah, but it, I couldn't feel it. So I did like this. No, it was there. No, I don't want to take a picture until you cut your finger off.
Their mouth.
Anything like Belisar the Cajun?
When I was a kid by yourself was not but 5 foot wide. And there's so much it's eroded. In 10 years from now, the land right here won't be here. This will be eroded away. All the trees will die in here. This will be marsh. See, the live oak up here on the right is about to fall down. It's about 200 years old. The one on the left here is already fallen from the other side.
Well, you know, a lot of people think...
New Orleans Bayou is Bayou Blue. Blue kind of hard to find blue water here anyway. Right here, there's only 5 inches of water. And where we are right here, there's a foot of water. Very shallow. Now you can see up here on the left, those holes there, those are armadillo dens. Those are armadillo dens there. Those are wild aspen right here. My daughter lives 4 houses down from me in the Olive Barrel area. I got a 34-year-old daughter. She's got 4 children. I got the grandkids at home every night. I've been begging her to move to New York. Can't get rid of our pyramids and lock them up in a shed. If I locked my son up in a shed, he would tear the whole shed down. Get out. So I never lock them up in the shed. 6'6", maybe 2'7". I wouldn't lock them up in the shed. It's big enough to lock them up in it.
Where's he get all that?
Off the other part.
How did you
There's famous clubs. We don't have mosquitoes here even in the summertime because of the tide. The tide moves every 12 hours. Mosquitoes need at least 24 hours of stagnated water to lay eggs and hatch larvae. They don't have it here because it moves every 12 hours. What would you find? Red bugs, wood kids. They're all in here.
Yeah, do you have rodents like squirrels and chipmunks?
Not chipmunks. They're chipmunks. Groundhog, chipmunks, we don't have. We have squirrels. We got the gray squirrel, the red.
Did you say their brain is only the size of a pea?
Yes, sir.
Well, that is a
Pea brain.
small brain.
What's the number?
Brain like we have. It's not hybrid. Lots of people's brain. That's why you can't hold your breath. Knocking into your brain makes you pass out. Here in Louisiana, we don't hunt alligators. We fish gators. You have to go a lot to kill a gator at night.
Oh, we'll be back next time company comes.
Follow them.
com a minha, eu tirei com a minha.
E aquele gajo vai ser metido a filmar. Epá, acho que nunca vi tanta Coca-Cola. Nem sabia que era possível pensar. Isso é bom.
Com café. Isto faz lembrar muito a...
Tu ainda tens pilha? Deixa eu perguntar assim, ainda tens pilha? Até parece mal. A máquina ainda tem pilha?
Nórdica. E aqui tem sueco. Calculei logo que fosse mesmo.
É sueco.
É.
Então não dizem nada assim aqui para a gente.
Mas estás a gravar.
Eu? Não.
Queres
que eu faça aqui uma apologia ao hambúrguer de molhos? Montes de frascos, que é para dar um certo ânimo à coisa, porque realmente
Não.
foi um bocado desmerecida. Devia ter
Você
tentado
está com rec ou está em stand-by?
os
Está
feijões
com rec.
Em
Então
rec?
está a gravar tudo.
Está em rec, neca, que vergonha!
Isso quer dizer o quê quando se está em rec?
É que está a gravar.
Não estamos a gravar a vocês!
Vejam lá isso.
A sério? Então façam lá aí uma brincadeirazinha lá. Não,
Quadros vivos.
posso fazer uma closure? Uma closure?
Uma closure.
floor apartments under the direction of the Tabla Building Commission. Buildings were further renovated in 1938 by the WPA.
Rob, you want me to take a drink while you take a picture?
No, that's okay, Helen. I can shoot the thing.
On the left, we pass the French Market, once the site of a Choctaw Indian trading post. The present buildings of the market was started in 1813 and have undergone several renovations. The market still retains much of its original 1818 Spanish tile roof. We are now moving around a bend in the river. It's called Algiers Bend, an extremely sharp turn in the Mississippi as well as a deep one. The water around Algiers Bend measures over 240 feet in depth. Glasses is an idea that was invented right here at the port of New Orleans by a local architectural firm 30 years ago. This vessel will carry 85 individual glass barges, once fully loaded with cargo. American Seaplane. Lake Pontchartrain has a size of 610 square miles and an average water depth of only 13 feet throughout the lake. Because of this, they were able to build a long bridge across it. It's called the Causeway, built 1956. A 29-mile bridge span with 24 miles going across the water. This is the longest bridge over water in the world. And the industrial canal was dug through the levee in 1921. The brick canal lock, you'll view towboats behind open barge loads of coal. Hopper barges loaded with coal. All of that coal comes from the coal fields coming down from Kentucky and West Virginia. And the towboat's going to push the coal barges in through the industrial canal lock and on to Port St. Joe, Florida. That coal's going to be used in a St. Joe paper mill.
muito da Bahia.
Crossing the river, you'll view the Canal Street ferry boat, which takes them across the river from Canal Street to the east bank of the town of Algiers, down to the west bank. On the right, we pass the Wildenburg Riverfront Park. We also pass the Aquarium of the Americas. The Aquarium of the Americas is a 1 million gallon aquarium housing over 10,000 specimens of underwater life, reptiles, birds, foliage, native to North Central and South America. You can also travel through a Caribbean reef via transparent vegetation of an Amazon River basin while walking through an enclosed tropical rainforest near the Aquarium of the Americas. And now leaving the aquarium, you'll view the John James Audubon, which makes 4 round trips daily upriver to Audubon Park Zoo. First departure from the aquarium at 10 in the morning, final return from the zoo at 5 in the afternoon. We're going to make a turn in the river. We'll be moving back downriver for the Liz Street Wharf in about 10 minutes. Again, we'd like to thank everyone for spending part of your day with us. Hope you have a very pleasant stay in our city.
Depois tipo pequena de circo brilhante.
A cabeça não sabe se é para a esquerda ou se é para a
É para a
direita.
esquerda.
Aqui tem variadas coisas.
De certeza que é para a
É para a
esquerda.
esquerda.
Está ali?
Uma
Vai estar ao descanso.
Então,